I'm Glenn Stewart. For the last 2 years, I've been unofficially the world champion for my age group in powerlifting for both bench press and for squat. I train every day, traditional power lifts, which are deadlift, squat, and bench press. About 4 years ago, I had a bout of cellulitis and I reacted badly to some antibiotic that they were going to put me on a home care plan with. At that point, they got the ECGs out and all of the heart monitors, and they found that I'd got a missing beat in the lower chamber of my heart. So they found out purely by chance. My first reaction was one of internal panic. Dr. Walsh said, I wanted to see Dr. Pepper in Leeds, who's somewhat of an authority on these things, because there's still something wrong.
The local cardiologist was understandably concerned about the standard transvenous pacemaker and very appropriately asked me if I'd see him with regard to offering him a Micra device. The reason we thought about it for Glenn was the concern about having leads running through his chest musculature in view of the stresses that he's putting on his chest wall with his powerlifting. We thought it quite likely he'd run into problems with lead fracture or failure over the longer term.
Dr. Pepper said we have a new pacemaker available now, which will give you everything that you need in order to keep your heart beating at the regular rate, and it won't have any lasting hindrance on your sporting activities at all.
A conventional pacemaker consists of a small box that contains a battery and various electronics that's generally implanted under the skin in front of the shoulder. That's connected to the heart through anything between 1 and 3 wires which connect the box through the venous system into the heart chambers. The Micra device is an entirely self-contained device that's implanted directly within the right ventricle of the heart. It has no wires, has no box under the skin, requires no scar, and therefore avoids the potential problems that can be created should he run into problems with pacing wires in the future.
As the time builds up to when you go in for the procedure, you're imagining all sorts of things. And then the thought dawned on me that I would be awake during all of this.
Everyone that we have implanted a Micra device into has found the implant procedure really quite straightforward and not unpleasant. It can be done under local anaesthetic with a little bit of light sedation and usually takes something under an hour. A little stitch is placed in the groin at the end of the procedure and the patient's up and about within a few hours, and then went home the same day.
I honestly didn't feel a thing from when the incision was made to deployment, and certainly didn't feel anything else whatsoever, and I was fully awake.
The aim of this is that Glenn won't have to think about it at all. We need to perform a simple 5-minute check once or twice yearly. Other than that, he continues to live a normal, active life. There are no restrictions on his activities, and the aim is that he remains unaware that he has a pacemaker.
Tomorrow I'll be doing a big legs routine, just as I would have done 2 months ago, before the procedure.
Glenn's remained extremely well since his implant. He's unaware of the pacemaker despite the fact it's pacing his heart for around 40% of the time. His electronic check has been absolutely fine. The device is working very well. The battery looks good for many years' function, and we're delighted.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'm living proof of its success. My lifestyle has remained unchanged. So that's the message really of admiration and of thanks. I'd just say to those people that are waiting to get a Micra fitted, go for it. Get it fitted as soon as possible, because you'll never look back.